Houston Smith, in his classic, The Religions of the World, which, by the way, originally was called, in a less politically sensitive time, was called The Religions of Man. Now, of course, that won't do. It's Religions of the World. In the first chapter on Hinduism, he starts with thinking that how can I make sense of Hinduism? It's so vast and diverse and varied. What can be a theme to introduce Hinduism? And he hits up on a beautiful scheme. He says that Hinduism basically tells us that you can have what you want. And then he says, before you get too happy about it, really the question now is, what do we really want? And that's a difficult question, actually. And the way Hinduism goes about it is, look at what people do. What do they really chase? People go in search of pleasure. You know, good food, music, the company of friends, relationships, whatever. All kinds of pleasure, from simple physical pleasures to art and music and intellectual pleasures and so on. So pleasure is a way that human beings search for fulfillment, happiness, satisfaction. Of course, pleasure is limited. Somerset Maugham, the one who wrote The Razor's Edge, he writes that if you single-mindedly chase pleasure, very soon you find nothing pleasing anymore, right? Luckily, there are other avenues for satisfaction. In search of happiness, human beings, we go to wealth and achievement, name and fame and status. The first pursuit, pleasure, in Sanskrit is called kama, the search for pleasure, search for satisfaction through pleasure. The second one, the search for satisfaction through material wealth and success and power, all kinds of pursuits that we do, it is called Artha. But we are searching for the same thing. We are all searching for happiness or satisfaction. And the question, why are we searching for happiness, is a very odd question. Nobody asks that question. Why are you doing it? Because it will make me happy. And that's the end of it. Nobody asks any further. Why do you want to be happy? Nobody asks. Why do you want to be satisfied? Nobody asks. Why do you not want to suffer? Nobody asks that. So that's fundamental. We want happiness and we do not want to suffer. In this quest, we search for pleasure. Pleasure has its limitations. We also search for wealth and power and status in society. Not only that, that's called Artha, but there's something beyond that. We also want to be good people, moral, ethical, religious, if you are inclined to think that way. So, religious, moral, ethical people given to moral life. There's space here. Come. So that is called Dharma. Very broadly speaking, a moral life, an ethical life, where you want to do good to others, to expand beyond yourself. That also gives satisfaction, a meaningful life. In fact, that's what many people are searching for in this modern world. When you have had enough of sensuous pleasure, satisfaction in career, meaningful life, a purposeful life, Dharma. So Dharma, Artha, Kama. These three are fundamental goals in human life, but the pursuit is the same pursuit. In all of them, we are looking for lasting satisfaction, profound satisfaction, happiness, and overcoming of suffering. You know, in pleasure, my hosts in Denver, the day before yesterday, they took me to an ice cream shop. And there, they said, what kind of cup do you want? Ice cream cup. It comes in 3 sizes. I like it, love it, gotta have it. And each is bigger than the last one. I was thinking, how profound. This is how pleasure starts. This is how desire functions. You think it is nice. It would be nice to have that gadget, that relationship, stay in that kind of a place, go to the Rockies. Nice. So you start with, I like it. And then gradually you want more of it and you get habituated to it. And you say, I love it. And then it becomes obsessive. You cannot do without it. I gotta have it. So it becomes more and more intense. Maybe not for the same thing, but variations on the same thing. And also, notice how the cup becomes bigger and bigger. The same amount no longer satisfies. You need more of it to give you that kind of satisfaction. And economists know this. They call it the law of diminishing marginal utility. That's probably the first lesson in economics we learn in an economics class. But this is not enough. This by itself is not enough. If you have it all, will you be happy, profoundly, lastingly happy? No. Nobody till now has claimed this. You know, just before I came here, there were 2 tragedies in Manhattan, just a couple of weeks ago. It was all over the newspapers. The most famous, successful chef in the world, Anthony Bourdain, he committed suicide. I think just before that or after that, Kate Spade, who I did not know was a big name in the world of fashion, she committed suicide within, I think, a week of each other. Time magazine, writing about this, made a very interesting comment. These are 2 people who have got whatever it takes to be happy the way we imagine it in today's world. in this most, New Yorkers are very conscious of being New Yorkers. So in this, this most, whatever of the cities, and at the peak of our culture. See, I saw on Columbus Avenue, written on this sidewalk, John Lennon used to live there in Dakota. Somebody asked him, why do you live in New York? And he said, New York, if I lived during the Roman Empire, I would have lived in Rome. New York is verily the Rome of our time. So the Time magazine comment is that, the editorial there, then this is very shocking. Whatever our society has put forth as the highest values, these were people who were enormously successful. They were at the top of their fields. They were people who had relationships. They were really rich. They were healthy. Everything. They had everything going for them, whatever you could want. And they killed themselves. Tragedies. But it points to something that Dharma, Artha, Kama by themselves are not enough to guarantee deep, profound satisfaction with life and overcoming of suffering. Here is where today's subject comes in. Religion, spirituality, has two sides. There's a conventional religion which tells you want to be happy in this world to the extent that is possible. Tells you how you can pursue your goals in this world, happiness in this world, in a moral way, in an ethical way, and that is Dharma, Artha, Kama. Notice that when we speak about it in India, we don't say Artha, Kama, Dharma. We always say Dharma, Artha, Kama. That means on the basis of a moral and ethical life, you are free to pursue your goals of pleasure and success in life. That is more sustainable, but that does not guarantee success. That does not guarantee that you will ultimately get happiness. In fact, what is guaranteed is that you will not. For time being, we may have many pleasant experiences, and we may think that, the next thing will fulfill me, and the next thing will make me truly happy. It takes a mature soul to realize that it is not working. The Buddha famously said, Dukkham, Dukkham, Sarvam Dukkham. Sorrow, sorrow, all is sorrow. Why? He said, first of all, basically he put it down to change and emptiness. The world is pervaded by change. Anityam, anityam, sarvam anityam. Impermanent, impermanent. Verily all is impermanent. Not just impermanent, but also momentary, transient. Kshanikam, kshanikam, sarvam kshanikam. Momentary, momentary. Verily all is momentary. Not just impermanent and momentary, but empty, void. Shunyam, shunyam, sarvam shunyam. Empty, empty, verily all is empty. Changing, momentary, empty. So, because of these, anityam, kshanikam, shunyam, therefore, dukkham, dukkham, sarvam dukkham. Therefore, it is all pervaded by sorrow. A happy chap, Buddha. Talk about raining on your parade. Very senior Swami of our order, Swami Sarvapriyananda ji, when he would speak of Buddhism, he would say, Buddhism is a serious religion. It begins with you accepting that everything is sorrow. But the great Indologist Heinrich Zimmer, he said, actually, the philosophies of India, all of the philosophies of India, Hindu, Buddhist, Jain, whatever, Sikh, all of them are actually profoundly positive, profoundly optimistic. In what sense? Because they say that there is a solution to this problem. It's not endemic, it's not chronic, it's not hopeless. There is a solution to this problem. Because it might be sophisticated to say that this is all we have. Make hay while the sun shines, make the best of a bad lot. But not only the religions of India, philosophies of India, but all religions, one common characteristic is they promise that there is a solution. This solution has different names. In India it is called Moksha. There are various names for this. Moksha, Nirvana. Nirvana is used by Buddhists and Hindus also. Kaivalya. There are lesser known names. Apavarga, for example, a set of ancient Indian philosophies calls it Apavarga. So these are different names for the same thing. A real solution to the most fundamental of human problems. And what's the proof that such a solution exists? The proof is in the lives of those we consider enlightened. There's only one class of people all throughout history, all throughout the history of civilization, all around the world, who can truly and have truly strongly claimed that they have overcome suffering. There's only one class of people who do not grumble. Those are the people we consider to be enlightened, spiritually enlightened. Those are the only group of people who say that we've truly found something that gives us profound and lasting peace and satisfaction. Let's go a little deeper into this. Moksha literally means freedom. Freedom from what? It works like this. one central idea in all the philosophies of India is what is called karma, the law of karma. In its essence, it's very simple. Good actions, consciously done, good actions generate merit, and merit leads to happiness. Good things will happen to you. Sukha in Sanskrit. So dharma leads to punya, punya leads to sukha. And if somebody is consciously, deliberately naughty, adharma, that generates demerit, papa. And the result of that papa is suffering, dukkha. Unpleasant things will happen to you. Now look how they tie it all together. The law of karma, do good, the result is good. In fact, Swami Vivekananda put it very succinctly. He said, good, good, bad, bad, and none escape the law. But whosoever wears a form, a body, wears the chain too. The chain is the law of karma. All that we have done in past lives is upon us, giving the results in this life. So the law of karma, see how they tie it together. If you have good karma, that means a lot of punya, merit stored up. The result will be sukha, happiness. In what sense? We'll get plenty of artha and kama. The four goals we just spoke about, artha, kama, dharma and moksha. So if you do a lot of dharma, the result will be happiness in the form of artha and kama. The pleasures and the success we want in the world will come easily to us. If I have a lot of bad karma, then the pleasures and the success I want in the world will be very hard to come by. So artha and kama are produced by dharma or retarded by adharma. And this is the law of karma. It doesn't operate just in this life. All the differences in happiness or in unhappiness that we see in the lives of people all around, that's because of past karma. It has to be. Basically, law of karma in a sense is causality. Causes give rise to effects, and effects must have causes before them. So what we do gives rise to certain experiences in life. Since we are having experiences in life from very birth, then the causes must lie before birth. That means in earlier lives. So you can see how the law of karma, which is nothing but causality, it's pretty reasonable actually. We accept causality in the physical world. All our science, our common sense is based on causality, on notions of causality. Karma is just an extension of the idea of causality into the moral sphere. So because of the law of karma, there is rebirth. We existed earlier in other forms, in other bodies, and this body has been produced. This is a chain actually. It's been produced by our past karma, and what we do in this life generates new karma. Our past karma, the stored up karma and the new karma together, they start giving results in future lives to come. So it goes on. It ensures that we come back again and again. If you look at it, getting chances to learn and grow and develop, yes, in a sense it's there. It's not good news. Karma and rebirth are some of the fundamental, I would almost say axiomatic beliefs in Indian thought. As Swami pointed out, in spite of the tremendous differences among different schools in Hinduism, there's one common thing they all accept, the law of karma. There's one common thing they accept, rebirth. You're born again and again and again. That cartoon I saw in a magazine, there's this American guy talking to an Indian guy. The American guy says, I'm a born again Christian. And the Hindu says, oh, I'm a born again and again and again and again Hindu. So, now, when you go through that again and again and again, so all schools of Hinduism accept this. Not only that, all schools of Buddhism accept this. Look at the tremendous differences. The Buddhists won't accept a permanent soul or Atman. They are either agnostic or atheistic about the possibility of God. So much difference. They won't accept the Vedas as revealed scriptures, but they accept without question the law of karma and rebirth. The Jains accept karma and rebirth. The Sikhs accept karma and rebirth. So in all of Indian thought, this is a central feature. The Swami who said this, he said, "Ye bhari gambhir tattva" in Hindi. This is a very profound principle. In the Abrahamic religions also you find it. Today one of the Christian pastors in the dialogue was saying, as you sow, so shall you reap. In that sense it's there in the Abrahamic religions also. Now as I was saying, this is not good news. Why not? It ensures that we persist across lifetimes. Yes. But as we repeat this endlessly and endlessly, though we may not have memories, but the tendencies are stored up. So it explains why some people are more mature than others, some have particular talents, others have particular inclinations, differences. Over time, the soul matures. A depth comes where the old pleasure-seeking, power-seeking, wealth-seeking is not there from the very beginning. One quickly understands this will not give me happiness. This will not give me true, profound, lasting happiness. It will not help me to overcome sorrow. So, This is where the idea of moksha comes.